Hi, my name is Stephanie Alcala from Alcala Law Offices in National City, California, within San Diego County. What I want to talk to you about today is how to prepare and what to expect at an adjustment of status interview. Most adjustment of status interviews that I deal with tend to be from family petitions. Sometimes it's a relative that is petitioning for their family member, or sometimes they are a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident couple that's petitioning the intending immigrant, which is usually known as the beneficiary. So, what to do beforehand? Before you go to your interview, make sure that everything that you submitted to immigration is correct. You should have a copy of your application, review it, make sure there's no typos, no errors, make sure that everything in there is correct. If it's not, if there's a date of birth that's wrong or a social security number, just go ahead and let the officer know at the beginning of the interview that you have these corrections to make. It's not a big deal. They will usually correct it right at that spot, or they'll wait until the end of the interview to make sure that they haven't corrected it through their questions. Okay, so you should also review the notice for the interview. The notice will provide the date, time, and location of the interview, as well as a list of documents that they would like you to bring to the interview. And usually these documents are original. So what I suggest is you bring a copy in case the officer requires a copy for the file, as well as the originals so that the officer can verify that the copy is a correct copy. Make sure that you have also brought any photos if this is based on a marriage, the petition. Make sure you bring any documents that have both your names, both the petitioner and the beneficiary, such as any insurance policies or any joint bank accounts or a lease agreement that has both your names. Now, once you walk in, the officer is going to ask you to swear to tell the truth. So basically, just be honest. You also will be asked for your identification card, and they may throughout the interview ask for the original documents you have brought, or they may ask for them all at the beginning. So, what kind of questions are they going to ask you? They will usually ask the petitioner a question, and then the beneficiary a set of questions. It's going to depend on the officer. Each officer is a little bit different. So when they're asking you questions, just respond honestly and wait for the other person to finish talking before you interrupt and provide your answer. So if you don't understand a question, make sure you do not answer it with information that you are guessing. Tell the officer that you don't understand the question, or let them know that you would like them to clarify what they mean by that question. They will ask basic information, such as your name, your date of birth, your place of birth, what your current address is, and who lives with you. It's information that mostly is in the forms, not all of it, but mostly in the forms that you can review beforehand. And it's questions that you should know off the top of your head. So you should be able to answer these without hesitating. Also, if they are asking the beneficiary questions, they're going to ask how you last entered the United States and when you last entered the United States. And they may go deeper into your immigration history to find out when your prior entries were and how you entered, because some of this information will determine whether you're eligible to immigrate at all. It's important beforehand that you speak to an attorney to make sure that there's not going to be any problems with your particular situation. You want to make sure you are honest, and you also want to make sure that you're not creating a situation where you might be in danger of being placed in removal proceedings. So make sure that you speak to a licensed attorney beforehand, that they can review your application, review your information, and make sure that everything goes smoothly, and preferably be present during your interview. They're also going to ask, if this is based on marriage, your information about how you met your spouse, how you became engaged, what the wedding was like, and they may ask for photos. So if you have any photos, make sure you bring them. Remember, if you do not bring them, the officer may ask for them, and that means that your case will be delayed while you provide the additional information that they will need in order to approve your applications. The other person in the interview, usually the petitioner, will also be asked a few questions about their names, their dates of birth, and similar information, very similar to what the beneficiary was asked. The beneficiary, the person who's immigrating, will also be asked security questions, such as whether they have ever had anything to do with a terrorist organization, whether they have ever been arrested, cited, or detained, whether they have ever provided false information or misrepresented themselves to an immigration officer or other officer of the law. You want to make sure that you have spoken to an attorney about any issue that can come up in your case before you walk into an interview and declare that there is no problem with these questions. So make sure that you have reviewed this with a professional. But when the officer asks you, the officer is not out to get you. They're not trying to trick you. They are required to make sure that you are eligible to immigrate. So these questions are standard. Also, at the end, if the officer requires more information, they will request more information either at the end of the interview, or they will ask you to provide more information by sending you a letter about 30 to 60 days after the interview is held. If that happens, they will usually give you a time frame in which to return the documentation or evidence that they need in order to approve your case or to make a final decision on it. If everything goes well, the officer will usually let you know that you are recommended for approval. What this means is that a supervisor has to finally approve your case. If you are recommended for approval, the card for your status, the green card, usually arrives within 30 to 60 days, and your case is usually done at that point. However, if in some circumstances you receive a green card that is only good for 2 years, there may be additional rules, and you do need to speak to an attorney beforehand to make sure that everything is okay with those requirements. Also, if you have any specific questions about your case, do not hesitate to contact an attorney. Our office is located in National City. We will be happy to schedule a free consultation to go over the specific details of your case and let you know what your probability of success is. And if we take on your case, we'll be more than happy to not only prepare your case, make sure the best outcome is set up for your case, but also we will be present during the interview to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. If you have questions, give us a call at 619-773-7333. My name is Stephanie Alcala, and I'll see you next time.